Good evening, family. Welcome into the show. We are back
Hmm.
by popular demand, I guess. Anyway, I hope everyone is doing well. Hendo, how are you?
I'm all right. I just got off work, a little tired, but I'm here.
Yeah, we are here because we said at the beginning or toward the end of last month, we said we were going to give the people what they want, and that is a 31-day challenge to provide daily content on our channels for the month of December. So here we are back at it again. Not a whole lot going on right now with the Ravens, but there was a presser yesterday, and we said, let's get on here and discuss it. Let's chat about it. So it,
What is that?
I don't know.
Oh, my bad. TV came on.
Television decided to join us for the challenge. So, Hendo, did you get a chance to watch yesterday's presser?
I did. I
Okay,
did.
yeah, we'll get
Oh,
into that. But I guess my main takeaway, well, one of my main takeaways, was we have Michael Pierce back on the practice field, and he was sidelined on because of in calf injury, and he's been placed on IR. I need you to get excited, Hendo. Come on, don't you feel the excitement? Let me pass it through this camera. There you go. There you go. Now
oh, oh my! Whew, wow, the number one run defense gets better.
we just got even better. Look, I'll take any healthy body right now on this team. And we know we need all the help we can get. Not necessarily per se the run defense. Okay, fine, whatever. We know that our struggles have been more in the passing game and, defending against the pass rather. But look, that's a bit of good news. What's funny?
Jose, he's an unprofessional.
Yes, very unprofessional. Oh goodness. But I am a little I got happy, I got excited to see Michael Pierce back because at that nose tackle position, he's been great for us this year, except when when he went out. Oh, we got our first super chat. Part of this stream is dedicated to you, Rave Kingdom. Thank
Right.
you. Thank you for this super chat. We are going to get right into it. Let me pull up Rave Kingdom's super chat real quick.
You already know.
Yeah, part of this show has your name written all over it. And so, oh, okay, well, I'll pull it up on the next screen, but I'll just read it from right here. He just says, Ben Cleveland, let's go Ravens. I didn't bring up my comment screen. It'll come up next.
Moderators, block that man. Block him. He can't be mentioning Ben Cleveland's name. What a travesty.
I was going to save that for a little bit later in the show. And we're not going to hold you long because I think Coach Evans might be streaming with Engraven in just a bit. So we want to make sure that everybody can go over to that stream and check it out. So we are here just for a quick live stream tonight. But part of tonight's show was to just talk, and we'll skip forward and we'll come back to Michael Pierce. But since we got the donation, thank you for the donation. Ben Cleveland, those are words that you obviously are not able to utter in the chat if you go into the Raven space. I saw it. I heard about it. I saw it myself when I went back on and watched it again. Very disappointing. Rave Kingdom, I applaud you for your stance because you are standing up for right. And the fact that you have been silenced is unfathomable. I don't like it. And tell me what you think, Hendo.
I mean, what do you expect?
Oh, I can answer that.
If you're not, I mean, a rational person. If you aren't for the team and you're not saying what they want you to say, of course they're trying to mute you. But like Rave Kingdom said, I have seen much worse things in that chat room going on each and every stream. I've heard them call people out of their names, talk about Ravens content creators. I've heard them say so many malicious things. And for him to just put Ben Cleveland, somebody got that butt hurt that they decided, you know what? We can't have any of this talk because there must be a problem. I see somebody in the chat says, you know what? It's starting to look like the idea of another mutiny. So they're trying to keep things calm in the castle because maybe, quite possibly, John Harbaugh has lost this locker room.
That is on that's on our to-do list. We're just going all out of order. So you guys know I like to go, I like to follow.
No, but you didn't tell me that though.
It's okay. It's okay. Because this is all about life. Kind of, sometimes you have to go off script sometimes, right? So that's a part of life. So here's my little script. There it goes. Now, I agree with you. The fact that Rafe Kingdom said Ben Cleveland. It's not just the name Ben Cleveland. It's the
Mm-hmm.
premise behind it. The premise is John Harbaugh, let's hold you accountable for not playing your best players because you have a doghouse and you decide that you don't like Ben Cleveland or mad at him or holding a grudge or whatever it is for no reason. Who cares what the reason is? He's better than Daniel Falele. Why is Ben Cleveland not out on the field? That is the reason he was silenced. Nothing else. Not just because he used the words Ben Cleveland. As you said, it's not swear words. It's nothing worse than that. Um, you know, and people have said even harsher. And it's not even harsh, but people have said worse.
No, I've seen harsh.
It's not
I've
harsh at
seen
all.
I've seen porn I've seen porn sites spam that chat over and over again, and nobody blocked them.
Yeah, people are waiting. Can we get some moderators in here, please, for this Ravens channel? Quickly want to send a shout out to everyone who's already joined in the chat. Thank you all for coming. Thanks for being here. This is a really quick stream so we can get you all out of here to catch Coach Evans and Sip to Tally. I'm sure it's going to be fire. Don Royal, I see you. Agnes is in the house. We'll talk about it a little bit. Don Royal about Cam Newton. That's right, Jose, just unprofessional. Oh, Jeff J, thanks for being here. My mom is here. Good evening, Mama.
Good evening.
Thank you for being here. We still got Aguilar. See, Don Royal, we trying to make this playoff / Super Bowl run, and we still have Aguilar. Hey there, Dre to Tough. Thanks for joining. I see you, Cam the Baptist, Jared Green, and look at you, Shug. Welcome, welcome. Our favorite Steelers / Ravens fan. Okay, I'm just teasing. I'm just joking.
When is this made up stream?
What do you mean?
He said I have another stream with my best friends. When is this made up stream? Next Tuesday at 9 p.m.
Go man, what's up there? How are you? When you say I doubt it, what do you doubt? Tell me what you doubt.
Probably my the title of my stream.
Oh, okay. Well, I threw my little note card away, so we're just going to roll with it. We're just going to roll with it. Welcome back to Ravens football, Michael Pierce. It's good to have him back. What do you think about it, Hendo? After you caught the excitement, so now we got to take two. Action.
Yeah, I mean, it's blah. Listen, as long as we have Travis Jones in the lineup healthy, the run defense is going to be fine. Nnamdi Madubuike, sometimes, depending upon if Broderick Washington decides he wants to play that game, we're fine. The run defense wasn't the problem. The problem was kind of the coverage between the linebackers, the safeties, and the cornerback. So, to me, it really doesn't move the needle, but we do need all the healthy bodies that we can get because we played 3 games in 10 days. So they're going to need to have rotational pieces to come in and be fresh, keep the team fresh so nobody gets injured for the long stretch in the playoff run. But for me,
Yeah. I'm going to just stay on this screen here with my comments because you guys are talking good to us tonight, especially Dre Too Tough. He said, listen, if you are in this chat, go ahead and do us a favor. Wherever you are watching, my channel or Hendo's, hit that like button. It helps our channels a ton. And if you want to...
Let's freaking go.
That's it. Let's go. And if you would like to donate to either channel, please do that, or both. Go ahead and be a rock star. We're not going to be mad at you. Go ahead and hit that donation button. The super chat, super sticker is activated on both channels, and you can join either channel or both and become members. There's a great question, but before I get there, I want to say hi to Slicer59. Thank you. Rob Miller says, so why do they favor Falele over Ben Cleveland? Rave Kingdom, weigh in, sound off in the chat. I want to hear you. I want to hear your answer. Why do you think the Baltimore Ravens favor Falele over Cleveland? I want to hear. And anyone else, let us know why you think Falele, and be honest, you let us know your opinion. Some people might believe that Falele is a better player and he has earned and deserves that spot. If that's your position, let us know.
It's one person on earth that believes that, and that might be Brodney, because Brodney is a fan of his. Other than that, it has nothing to do with anything other than pure ego. John Harbaugh is a do as I say type individual, and if you don't do what I say, you won't play. It's just listen. Even if, let's just say, for instance, that Falele and Ben Cleveland were on par. Let's say they were even. Why not put Ben Cleveland in sometimes during the games just to see how he would do, just to see if he fares off better than Falele does? He doesn't even do that. He doesn't even put him in at left guard. When Andrew Voorhees got hurt,
Yep.
Bakari was struggling a little bit. He didn't put him in the game at all. Now, when they go to their heavy packages, he comes in for maybe a play or two, but outside of that, they never have really given him a good look, and that's because Harbaugh does not like to be challenged. He wants grown men to sit there and follow his lead. But I think the way that things are going now, the rest of the team is like, bruh, I'm
I
not
don't know.
believing what you're saying. I'm
That
not
leads
buying
us
what you're selling.
that leads us into point number 2. I mentioned on the thumbnail, I said, we got some good and we got some not so good. So the return of Michael Pierce from his calf injury to me is really good news. But what about the not so great news? And that is, we talked about it on one of our previous streams. I asked the question, has Harbaugh lost his locker room? And I think we can revisit that just a bit right now because of the demeanor that we saw in John Harbaugh's presser. Visibly irritated, didn't want to be there, just had no interest, no appetite for answering questions, especially the difficult ones. Now, he's fine answering your easy peasy questions like, oh, what's your favorite color? Oh, my favorite color is purple. He has no problem answering those types. But hey, what's going on with Deontay Johnson? Well, you already know that. He's suspended, and that includes practice, like we already said this. So talk to me, Hendo. What do you
Yes.
take away from John Harbaugh's presser as it relates to, has he lost his locker room?
Well, I didn't need the presser to tell me that. In the beginning, I kind of thought that he had not lost the locker room. I thought that the players still had a little bit of faith in him. But as the season goes on and we're starting to see things happen with different players, with the Marcus Williams, with the Eddie Jacksons, and now with Deontay Johnson, I'm thinking that the players are like, look, bro, I understand that you're getting pushback from some of these players, but there's a reason outside of just not being able to play that they're having issues with some of these guys getting on the field. And I just think that the other players are looking at it like we should be fielding the best 22 players that we can at each and every time. And some of this losing may have to do with you and your ego. So I think that he is starting to slip a little bit. Now, as far as the press conference goes, the only part of the press conference that I saw was when he stepped up to the podium and he did like this, and I cut it off because I was like, oh, he's gonna say the same thing. So I stopped it and I shut it off, and I was like, I'm done because I already know he's gonna avoid any tough question.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're just gonna start hitting them with the softball stuff. Well, how's Deontay Hardy? What's going? Do you feel like all the easy questions that he's just so happy and joyous to answer. But when they ask him questions about anything else, I know that he probably said something like, "Yeah, we're not going to discuss this right now. It's an internal matter. We're going to keep it in house." I'm pretty sure he said something to that effect because he always does. Now, as the head coach, I like my head coaches transparent. Now, I'm not saying it is for everybody, but Dan Campbell with the Lions. He may not be for everybody, but I love the fact that he can get up on a podium and say, listen, I didn't do my job today, I need to do better.
Yes.
This person isn't performing, but we're going to get them right. You know what I'm saying?
it.
You don't have to bash people, but at least be transparent with everybody and stop with the politician speak of, this is something that we're going to discuss in-house, and when we get a resolution, we're going to come back and let everybody know. No, you're not, because you're a liar, and you've been a liar for 17 years. So I didn't need to see any more of other than him going up. And that was it.
Take a couple of comments really quickly. I wanted to hear from Rave. He said, my honest opinion is John hates when people speak up or feel they should have a bigger role. And then Falele was more of a yes, sir. I think Ben said some things John didn't favor. None of us know exactly. And I appreciate it. But whatever it is that has caused him to be in the doghouse or just kind of.
First of all, they didn't say Falele. They said Falala.
I know, but I'm just going to gloss over that and Falele.
It's the holiday. It's the holiday spirit.
Holiday spirit. He was getting into the holiday spirit. Awesome. Thanks for that, Brave Kingdom. Cam the Baptist says Harbs is losing it, but Orr is starting to gain it. I like that. Let me pin this comment because this might be a talking point of our next show. Speaking of our next show, let me go ahead and plug this right now. Come on back on Thursday. This Thursday, 2 days from now, you will get a special guest joining Hendo and myself to preview this upcoming game against the Giants. You don't want to miss it. Get in early because it's sure to be a lot of fun. Yeah, Dre, Harbs looked beyond irritated. You see, I didn't give Hendo time to rebut that because I didn't want him to say, wait, I'm not going to. Yes, I just kind of moved on. You guys
I
caught
just
that?
I just won't show up.
That's not nice. That's,
Er,
that's, that's not nice. I see you, Osmond. Thanks for being here. Cleveland is being
appreciate you.
held back. He is. And will be unleashed as our secret weapon when the time is right. When is the time going to be right, Osmond? Because to me, we should have unleashed him during that time that we were going on a stretch of a win streak. That would have been a perfect time to unleash him, to see what he can do. Give him some practice, some experience, because there's something to say about having reps, and you don't want to wait until the playoffs or, like into the postseason. And we're like, all right, Ben Cleveland, let's go. Let's get it. And he underperforms. Why? Not necessarily because he lacks talent, but because he hasn't had the reps. So that's my only concern. By now, at week 14, going into, the last few games, it's tough. It's tough, but
It's concerning. It's
yeah.
this isn't 2012. This isn't 2012 where we sat Brian McKinney on a bench because of whatever he had going on. He was lazy. He didn't want to practice, and then we brought him back in for the playoffs. This is a guy that sat the whole season, and you expect him to come in for the stretch run in the playoffs and actually make a difference. I don't think that they're going to do that, especially when the stakes are at its highest.
Yeah.
Now, just even if, let's just say, for instance, that Ben Cleveland was the best guard that the Ravens had to offer, John Harbaugh still wouldn't play him. He still wouldn't do it out of ego, out of spite, because he's an evil man.
Yeah. Hey there, Omega Red. Thanks for joining. Slim Smith, I see you, better late than never. So you are here, and that's all that matters. The next item.
Just started.
I know we're just getting the party started, but just like that, we're getting started. We're about to wrap up because I told
No,
we got it.
we still got stuff. We still got stuff to talk
I
about.
threw
Though.
my little sheet away. Remember that was the whole theatrics I did earlier, the choom. So now I don't even know what I'm supposed to talk about. But this is a good point I had to talk about. Tucker looked exhausted. Like he's been kicking field goals for 78 hours straight. This is the not so good. I don't want to speculate as to what's going on with Tucker. I don't. But he didn't look himself. He looked, I don't know. I don't know if it was tired. I don't know if it's exhausted, or what came to my mind was, did someone have a conversation with Tucker to say, look, I don't want to have this conversation, but I'm being forced to, i.e. John Harbaugh, go to Tucker and say, the powers that be have told me that if you don't kick field goals accurately, if you do not get your extra point attempts made accurately, we're going to bring someone else in to just kind of.
Wait a minute. So you're telling me,
oh goodness, thank you.
Why don't you give some of my members? But it's okay.
We're going to do that. We are.
Appreciate
Gosh.
you. I'm just playing. I appreciate you.
I'm trying to find it. That is from,
Okay,
oh boy,
okay.
wow. That is from my guy, Brandon Bazel. B Squared has gifted channel members to my channel. I really appreciate that. I see you guys do stuff like this, throws me off my game, and then I get like.
She gonna cry in the car. I'm telling y'all, she gonna cry in the car.
Stop it. Wow. Thank you, Brandon.
Don't do it now. Don't do it now. Don't you do it now. We all want to be professional.
You guys want to see real, right? You want to see real or professional?
Be professional.
Listen, I'm professional all day at work.
I couldn't care either way.
And Ghosty, we know who that is, just tipped on Hendo's channel $25.86. Thank you, Brand. Well, no, I'm not gonna say. Thank you, Ghosty. Thank you.
You know it's Bazel.
I know.
But like I was saying, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but like I was saying, please, you say keep it real, be transparent with these people. Stop with the BS. All right, just once. I need you, well, not just once, but this time, stop with the BS, Shalon. Don't sit there and say John Harbaugh went to the powers that be and said, they told me if you don't do it. When have they ever told John Harbaugh anything? They didn't go to John Harbaugh and say, hey, get somebody to protect Lamar Jackson. Hey, John, make sure we go ahead and get some wide receivers that can actually catch the ball. Hey, John, why don't you play the guys that can actually play? But they're going to go to him and say, hey, make sure that you go to one of the greatest Ravens of all time, one of the guys that carried this franchise for years, and tell him he needs to get his kicks in and get his kicks right. I don't think that happened.
Yeah.
I just think it's personal pride, and he's just trying to do everything that he can to get right, because we see other teams across the league, i.e., the Kansas City Chiefs, going down to the local park and finding guys sitting on the bench and coming out kicking 50-yard field goals. So
Here's where I say, and I was keeping it real, but here's where I say,
you really thought somebody told John Harbaugh?
no,
Who
just let
told
me
him?
finish. Just
Who
let me,
told him? I'm just asking, who told him? Was it
but
EDC? Nah.
no, it would have been the
Sashi?
owner. We know that ain't happening. It would have been Bishotti. But the reason I said that is there was a time prior to Lamar Jackson where Bishotti had to have had a conversation with Harbaugh to say, look, buddy, you're in the hot seat. Either you get this team right or you're out the door. So a conversation had to have been had. And then obviously we all know the rest is history. Lamar Jackson comes, insert Lamar Jackson, and there goes, the fear of John Harbaugh's job being on the line. So the
Right, but that
fact
was
that he
about
was
his own personal future, not about a player.
right, but I'm thinking, okay, if at least it can be possible in that instance, maybe. I didn't say it was definite. I just said
No, I mean
maybe.
I
Reject it,
understand,
move
but
on.
I just respectfully disagree with you.
Okay.
If the owner doesn't come to the head coach and say, "Bruh, each and every year you run your running back 6 times out the backfield and we lose because we're not using our identity and we're not being the team that we've always been," I doubt that he would come to him and say, "Do something about your kicker."
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
you
just
never
saying.
know. That's why I say it's all speculation. I don't know what the reason is. None of us know. But
Maybe
one
it's
thing that we could
pride. It's pride. I'll
no, 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 no,
listen.
no. I'm talking about how Justin Tucker looked on the presser.
Because
That's
he's
what I'm
because he's because he's tired. He's been putting in extra work. The man is tired. Listen, you're considered one of the greatest all time at your position. Some people have you a lock for the Hall of Fame, and you've been the worst person on the team, technically, so to speak. And your pride is hurt. Normally, when you see reports or you see them on Sports Nation talking about you, it's something good. But now they're talking about how bad you are.
yeah.
And then you have to go before the press after each game talking about, well, I just got to do the best I can and try to get it right. Next time I'm going to make a kick. Like, you don't want to have to do those things. So I think that he's overworking himself trying to get better, because he may also be playing for his contract. Because if this continues with his salary for a kicker, he may not be on his team next year.
Facts. 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 Again, thank you, B Squared, for gifting 5 Playmaker memberships to Woo
Appreciate you, bro.
Pig, the Ravens Girl, number 8, Dan, Nick, Marcus. Welcome to the channel. The Wonderkin Show is here.
What's
Thank
up,
you
bro?
for being here. And I hope that we got that extra the other day. I got to go back and watch to make sure you did. Next time, I want the double slap, okay?
Duh.
Looks like Tucker got the beat ups put on him. That's what I'm saying. So if that's true, if that be true, it's it's something for us to be, I don't want to say concerned, but it's something for us as fans to think about. We need a kicker who is confident, who is believing in himself, not looking tired, not looking worn out. Because it's one thing to look tired after you've played a stretch of, like you said, we have a 3-game stretch in
Right.
three games in a 10-day period. It's
Facts.
fine if you look tired after that, but you should be looking fresh. We just had a bye week, right?
Right.
So this is something to watch. Let's see. Yeah, be more
I
so
told
said
you.
real
I told
professional. I do. I try to keep it real professional around here. But listen, we
Listen,
family. We're family.
listen.
Hey there,
So,
Brandon.
what's up, Buck?
Welcome.
Listen, I told you in the military, we used to do some things. We used to get out of line, and we had to run or do extra push-ups because of you. It was some things. It was some soap and some socks. Like,
I'll
I'm,
ask that
I'm just saying.
offline. I'll ask
I'm just
about
saying.
soap and socks later.
You,
But
just, you beat him with it. Like, you hold him down with a blanket and you beat him with it. Make him get in line. Make him become disciplined.
okay.
Shout out to the Marine Corps. Hoorah.
Jeff J wants to know, pass pro aside, do y'all think Falele does okay in run blocking? Seems to me that he has a lot of hustle running and blocking for Derek. I see him downfield a lot and always helps Derek up. I think, oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Hendo.
Oh, um, I think that he has progressed. I think he's progressed in his run block, and I think he's progressed in his pass pro. But the problem is he's not consistent with it. And yes, a lot of times you will find him running down the field in the midst of the play. But the problem that I have, what's going on? The problem that I have is while he's running, he's not touching anybody. He's there by
Okay,
himself,
okay.
looking around, looking lost. Like he's running nowhere fast, and
Hendo,
then looking for something to do. What?
he's not touching anybody.
He's not. Like you see, how many times have you seen Foul Lady just standing like this? Hey guys, Marco, Polo.
Leave some laughing emojis for Hendo's
Nah, I'm just
description
saying.
of things. Just leave some laughing emojis. Spam the chat wherever you
That's right.
are.
Go to
Spam the
Patterson Park.
chat for Hendo's description. Right.
Tell me where I'm lying though.
I didn't say you were. I just said leave a laughing emoji. Just laugh at him. That's all I want people to do. Just laugh at him. Brandon E
That
says
man ran.
the
That man
Ravens are
ran down the field
asking
and be
for
like, Miss Mary, Mac. I'm like, yo, who you doing that with? By myself.
the next question, Brandon E. Thank you for keeping us on
What's going
track.
on,
The
Brandon?
next question was, do you think, and let us know in the chat if you are watching this on replay, thank you. Leave a comment down below. Let us know. Do you think the Ravens are asking too much of Lamar Jackson?
Mm,
Are they
mm,
asking him to do too much?
mm. You know
And
what?
before
You know
you
what?
answer that, as you're typing your answer, just think about this. On the one side, you're going to have those who say, how much is he getting paid per year? They're going to look at his contract and look at his salary and say, no, we're not asking him to do too much given the amount
Great
of money
point.
that we're paying him.
Great point.
So let me hear from you. Weigh in. Let us know. While I say hello to MDT Sports, I see you, Jared. All of the wonderful regulars are here. Thank you all so much for joining. And if there are any new faces, thank you. Make sure you subscribe and join the family. Be More Show says maybe the bye week caused a little O-line shakeup. I doubt it. And the reason I doubt it, I mean, if we were going to see a shakeup, we would have seen it a long time ago because there's nothing new on film, Be
Right.
More Show, that we have seen that we haven't seen before. Granted, we looked better when we were winning, but look who we were facing at the time. Look at the defensive lines that we were going up against. So, of course, we're going to look better against lesser competition. But the real test is, how did we look when we faced Pittsburgh? How did we look when we faced Cleveland? How did we look? So when we faced those teams and we just couldn't get the job done, that would have been a perfect time to say, now's a good time for us to kind of try and change some things. So I'm not optimistic, but you never know. We'll see. We'll see.
Can we stick to the question that you asked before you start pulling up other stuff?
I know I'm going to get back to the question, but I was giving people time to answer, and I just took that comment right there.
Then you
No,
put up another comment.
because I wanted to say hello to Nightmare Kilo. It's okay. I'm pulling up yet another one. Hey, Tanja, Falele never looks for work. He makes me so mad. I think he makes all of us mad. But let me move to the
He doesn't.
responses to the question. Let me move to the answers to the question. Are we asking too much of Lamar Jackson? Zach said yes. Hendo, what do you say?
So the reason that I brought this question up was because I saw something on Twitter earlier asking, is Josh Allen being asked to do too much, being at how he scored 6 touchdowns his last game and the Buffalo Bills still lost. Now, if I may be mistaken, but just throughout his tenure outside of his first and second year, they've given Josh Allen weapons, correct? They've given him a top
Yes.
4 wide receiver at the time whose numbers were amazing. And now this year they decided to scale back. Then they went out and traded for Amari Cooper. So they've given him some things. So that made me think about, is Lamar doing too much? Do they have too much on his shoulders? Then there was another question asked about Joe Burrow, saying that, should they do better by him? Like he's never had a great running back. Like Joe Mixon wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? So I thought about it and was like, are the Ravens asking Lamar to do too much? Because like we said the other day, if Lamar Jackson doesn't have a passer rating above 114.7, the Ravens are 0-5. And if Derrick Henry doesn't get going and Lamar doesn't rush the ball for a certain amount and doesn't pass the ball, the Ravens do not win. So to me, yes, I do believe that they're asking him to do a little bit too much. Now, you made a great point about asking about his salary, but that's what the going rate is for a franchise quarterback. We've seen some quarterbacks have one good year, have one decent year, and get paid more than Lamar. But Lamar is the offense for the Baltimore Ravens. He has been since he came into the league. And if he doesn't have good games, we don't win. If the defense balls out and we run the ball, but Lamar is struggling, we don't win. So we go as far as Lamar takes us. So I think that there's a little bit too much on his shoulders. Yes, they have slowly trickled in some weapons for him, but I think that they could do a little bit more. They could get him a true number one wide receiver to go along with Zay. They can get him an offensive line comparative to these other franchises that really want to protect their franchise quarterback. So, yes, I do think that they're putting a little too much on his shoulders because if he doesn't do it, it doesn't get done.
Indeed. And I'll take this comment, RTV. Thanks for being here. I'll just give you my thoughts as well. I think we are asking a lot of Lamar. I think we ask quite a bit of him. And when he is not 100%, I don't know of another player on this team that picks up the slack. Obviously, he is the quarterback. He's going to be the center, the nucleus of the team. I get that. And there is no other quarterback on the team. You have one. It's not like you have multiple safeties, you have multiple running backs, you have multiple tight ends. You have one quarterback. I get it. But if any time Lamar is just slightly off, or even a little bit more than slightly off, who picks up the slack for him? No one. Who can carry this team like Lamar can? No one. And yet we still ask him to do more. And Lamar, RTV said, Lamar can do more, in my opinion. What more can he do? In your opinion, what would you like to see Lamar accomplish in these remaining games that he has not already done to help will our team to victory? Because to me, RTV, Lamar, he's not perfect. And we've certainly, I believe in holding everyone accountable, Lamar Jackson included. And we've talked about it on several of the previous shows where he was, inaccurate, missing his targets, overthrowing. And we discussed it like, hey, you've got to make that. You've got to get that right. Clean that up. Absolutely. The fumbles, we've talked about it. But in terms of what more can he do, I'd like to hear from you. And if anyone else thinks that Lamar can do more, what would you like to see him do these remaining games?
Yes, please let me know. Because listen, I've seen the Baltimore Ravens with a top 5 defense and a strong running game without Lamar Jackson and still couldn't win games. So what else do you want him to do? He's 7th in the NFL in passing. I think he's like 14th in the NFL in rushing. He has almost 700 yards rushing without even trying. 29 passing touchdowns, 3 iffy interceptions that went off the hands of his receivers. I mean, what more could he do? If we had a kicker that could kick his weight in salt, the team's record would be a little bit different. If we had a head coach that would realize, hey, this game plan isn't working, even if we went into the past few playoff games and went with the game plan that we went with, if he even made any type of adjustments during those games, we may have won something else. We may have gone farther than we have in the past, but we haven't. And if Lamar isn't perfect and he isn't on his game, this team has no shot in winning.
Right. Yeah. Hey there, 442 Bear. Lamar had to fight. Yes, he did. He had to fight.
The only one in history, only franchise quarterback in history that had to fight for his money.
Hi, Zach. Thank you for being here. I disagree. Lamar Jackson can take us to the Super Bowl by himself. Interesting you say that because as I understand it, football is a team sport. It is not, and admittedly, I've never played the game. But as I understand it, it is something that you win as a team, you lose as a team. And
Right.
you have to have balance on your entire roster in order to make it to the Super Bowl. Doesn't mean that every single player on your roster is perfect, they're excellent, but you have to have a few just downright dogs that get the job done when their numbers are called. And that's the one thing that I think this team lacks in terms of that grit, that determination, that outright fight for it. We see it in Zay Flowers. We do. But who else? So, what do you think, Hendo?
I mean, I could always go for more dogs. I could always go for more alphas, but while John Harbaugh is the head coach of this team, we're not going to get them. Like, it's never going to happen. He doesn't want anybody to challenge his fragile authority. So, yeah, I mean, my thing is, even look at the Philadelphia Eagles, who we just lost to. Jalen Hurts had 118 yards passing. Wasn't on his best game. He was efficient. I think he was like 17 for 20, 17 for 22, and he had 2 touchdowns passing. But what the Philadelphia Eagles learned is you have to be strong up front on the offensive and defensive lines. And with us, we went into the season experimenting, saying, you know what? If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Lamar's going to save the day. And there have been too many instances where we've asked for Lamar to save our season, to save us in games, and then sometimes he can't. And then the fans turn on him and say, well, Lamar, you could have ran. You could have did more. You shouldn't have threw that ball. But yet still, we don't always take a look at, soon as they hike the ball and get it in his hands, he's got 2 people chasing it. So he
Yeah.
doesn't even get a chance to survey the field or do what he needs to do. But this season, he has elevated his game, and he's been able to do that. Now, I didn't expect him to do it over a 17-game season, and right now he's in a slump. But that slump isn't playing bad football. And like you said, he misses throws, he overthrows, he fumbles. But the thing about Lamar is he makes up for his mistakes, unlike some others on the team. Yeah, I might overthrow this ball, but guess what? I'm going to escape the pocket and hit Rashad Bateman down the field on a dime for a touchdown. So he makes up for the plays that he doesn't make, and people don't tend to see that.
Absolutely. All facts. Hey there, DDSQ. Thanks for being
What's up,
here.
DB?
Robert, I just had to write this one down and I starred the comment because you are giving me, and several of you are giving me ideas
For
in terms of
videos.
for videos and live streams. Let me say the last part, the live streams, the next one. Do Lamar Jackson's teammates need to step up? We're going to talk about this. You guys are bringing up really good points. Want to send a huge shout out to Don C. Thank
What's
you
up,
for
Don?
being here. Thank you. Thank you. And I have to star this comment as well. This one is really good, DDSQ. Wow. Lamar does for the Ravens what the media says Josh Allen does for the Bills. I'll just
Listen,
sit that
listen,
right there. This
listen,
is another
DB.
topic. Let me write this one. Let me
Listen,
star this
that
one.
is 100% accurate. Buffalo
Of
Bills
course it
fans
is.
do not want to admit that. All they want to say, especially this season, is the Ravens brought in Derrick Henry, and that's why Lamar's playing so well. But they didn't say how last season, once they started to feature James Cook in the running game for the Bills, that's when Josh Allen elevated his game even more. Just the threat of James Cook, who is a home run threat, opened up things for Josh Allen in the running game. But they don't want to talk about that. They just want to talk about, oh,
He's one of
Josh
the.
Allen is just superhuman. He's the
Yeah.
best dual threat quarterback out there. Just look at him. But once again, James Cook gets them down to the 1 yard line, and just like Jalen Hurts, he plunges it in for the one. Oh my gosh, you see Josh Allen with all those rushing touchdowns. Now, don't get me wrong. Josh Allen does his thing, and he's a very talented quarterback. But I think that the media manipulates things and babies him, but yet and still, with the same narrative, with the same situation going on, they turn it around and say, well, Lamar, you 2-time MVP, get it done. Doesn't
Mm,
matter what you got, just get it done.
exactly. Angel Aguilar Trejo, thank you for being here.
Appreciate you.
Question: should the Ravens go after Kadarius Toney?
Yes, they should go after him in a court of law, and that's it. As far as a player on the field, don't this man. This man was
Yeah.
on the roster depleted Kansas City Chiefs. They didn't have any wide receivers and couldn't make it with Patrick Mahomes. Then he went to the Cleveland Browns, and they really don't have any wide receivers outside of Jerry Jeudy. Now Cedric Tillman, he steps up a time or two, but Jerry Jeudy, your boy just doesn't do what he's supposed to do. Then in the game the other day, he doesn't look interested in football. To be honest with you, when he dropped that punt, I was watching him, and he was just like, all right, I mean, I get
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Like, I made my millions. I got a Super Bowl ring. What
Yeah.
else do I need? Like, we don't need any other guys that can drop the football. We got enough of those right now.
Okay. Hendo. Don
What?
C. coming through with the super chat with the
Appreciate you.
$5 donation. We appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you very much for your donation. Did he leave a comment? Let me see.
Yes.
Okay, let me I'm going to bypass these and read the comment. Yolanda Hendo, I just want the Ravens in the last 4 games to play consistent, cohesive, yes, football. Say it. Offense, defense, and special teams. And you too, Harbs. Well stated. Well stated and understood.
Appreciate you.
Thank you again for the donation. Thank you. Thank you. And I 100% agree with you. I want our team to play complimentary football for 4 quarters for these remaining games. All
I
of
want them to
them.
play. I want them to play healthy football and be
Yes.
healthy going into the playoffs.
Yes. And that's what concerns me about Justin Tucker.
Tanja.
Hey there, Tanja. But if if our Ravens if our kicker for our Ravens, Justin Tucker, is looking tired, sleepy-eyed, looking like he's been through the ringer during the bye week, how much more do we expect him to be in the next 10 days when we have those 3 games that we have to play down the stretch?
Zeke.
Hey, Zeke. Hey there. Well, we are about to get out of here so that everyone can go
Word.
over, and watch Sip to
Say
Tally
word, son.
as well as I think Engraven is his guest tonight. So we
Yes.
want to make sure that you have an opportunity to go over there. Head right on over to
Say
Coach
word,
Evans.
son.
What did you say?
Say word, son. Coach and Engraven. Say word.
Yeah. So head on over to Coach Evans at Sip to Tally Films and make sure you check out that episode. That's where I'm about to head over and watch it. So, Hendo, where can
Yes.
everyone find you and what do you have going on social media?
You can find me on the Road Pod on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Blue Sky. Normally I would put out a video, but somebody's got me live streaming 9 out of 10 days. But I got a video coming out tomorrow because I will not be live streaming tomorrow night. Best believe that. But you can also check me out later tonight at 10 p.m. on Suge Knight 323 with the Ravens Steelers podcast, Steel Conspiracy, also with our man Brodney. You can check me out on Mondays at 9 p.m. with Coach Evans on Sip to Tally with the Ravens Roundtable with Brodney, Jose, Coach Evans, Chris Just Joking, and whomever else that may drop by. You just never know. So I'll be around. You'll see me. I'm sticking to my word of content for every single day this month. And somebody's trying to get me to not do my shorts because I'm counting that.
No,
Shorts count.
1 short a week, short, not shorts.
But I
But
didn't do
anyway, I
one
see you,
last week,
James
so I get
Miller.
2
Thanks
this
for
week.
being here.
Appreciate you.
Make sure you come back. On Thursday of this week, where Hendo and I will be joined by a very special guest to help preview the Giants game for Sunday. So until next time, we will see you soon. You take care of yourselves. You stay safe, and always remember,